Trigger warning. Hi, my name is Rose. I am a survivor of human trafficking. As I'm reflecting on everything that is happening in the world right now, specifically connected to all of these fires, what happened in Maui, and now what is happening in my own home state. The fires in Los Angeles and that are just breaking out everywhere throughout the city. I'm very aware that there's a deeper agenda behind why these are taking place. And as I'm sitting here just reflecting over the things that I've had to overcome, realizing that they are really going above and beyond to try and hide what they've done. As I reflect on all of this, I'm being called to share part of my testimony. If I'm being honest, I've been wanting to share it for quite some time. I just never knew where exactly to begin because it's just so much piled one on top of the other in regards to the trauma, what they do to survivors in the process of being victimized. The trauma is layered to get us to be in a state of chaos and confusion so that we can't connect one dot to the other. The suppression and the threats on my life have been heavy. And I'm feeling like this is why, more than ever, I need to begin to give my testimony. As I'm sitting here going through some of the things that I've had to survive, there's one particular incident that I keep going back to, and it's connected to my adopted family and them being the ones that trafficked me. I can remember between the ages of 3 to 6 years old being taken on a small plane. It was a private plane. It was just usually me and the pilot. I remember being dressed in all white. Every time they sent me, I was usually in a white dress. I was taken from Florida to some island, and I remember being there for what seemed like so long. I remember that once I arrived to this place, wherever it was they were taking me, I was put in a room, and the room was beautiful. It looked like a room that belonged to a princess. But one thing that I distinctly remember about this room is once I was placed in this room alone, the door shut, but in the way that the door shut wasn't a regular door. It was like the doors in the way that the cells close in jails and prisons. And I remember that clinking sound every time the door closed, and how cold the room suddenly got. After a series of events that took place in this time that I was kept in this room, essentially as their slave, I remember at the end of it all, the pilot would take me back to this beach area in Florida where I would meet my parents again. Well, the people that called themselves my parents. They would pick me up like they were picking me up from camp or something. And I remember being so happy to see them that I would get off the plane and run to them as if I was running to safety. In my mind at that time, I was just a child. It hadn't dawned on me that these were the people that put me through what I had just endured purposely. The suppression on survivors is heavy. The purpose in me putting this part of my testimony out is not to have anyone feel sorry for me, but a hope in giving other survivors the courage that they need to come forward and begin to speak their testimony. They can't get away with what they've done to us. They can't cover it up, and they are scrambling desperately to do exactly this. This is why I am sharing this part of my testimony. I know I'm not the only one that has gone through this, and there are many survivors that haven't lived to be able to tell their part, or that have been beaten into submission, or that have been baited into addiction. I am one of many, and I hope to encourage others having these suppressed memories come back up in this moment to let them know you're not alone. We are many. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are supported in all your ways. You didn't deserve any of what you were put through, and none of it is your fault. Stand proud as the survivor that you are, and come forward with your testimony, so that we may give the others the courage that they need to stand for themselves now.